Do you ever feel like, God, I trust you, but sometimes I don't? Or, you know what, God, I don't trust you at all. And that's because I don't know why I should, and I don't understand why I should. Or, you know what, God, I trust you, and I think I'm doing okay. But sometimes I could use some encouragement to keep on trusting you. If that's you, stay tuned. Today we are doing Bible study, so let's get straight into our verse for the day. Our Bible study today is taken from Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. It reads, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." So we want to look at the key words in this actual text. So I have done a video on Proverbs 3 verse 5. It's the last video that I made. And to be honest with you, I got some new revelations when I was focusing on the scripture. God has had me on the scripture for almost 2 months now. I think we're going on to 3 months. And he's just like, girl, trust me. Trust in me. And every time I try to read any other scripture, God still takes me back to Proverbs 3 verse 5 to 6. And so I'm like, you know what? I need to do a Bible study on this only. Okay. So what are the key words? The key words in this verse are trust, Lord, all, heart, lean, and understanding. That's all verse 5. So what does the word trust actually mean? Trust means to confide in something or someone, to be confident about something, or to be confident in something, to be confident in someone, or to be sure of something, to be sure of someone. You know, you're sure of this thing. So the word trust there, God is saying to us, confide in me, the Lord. Who is the Lord? The Lord is God. The Lord is Jehovah. Who is Jehovah? He is your creator. He's the person who made you, and he's the person who made me. God is saying, confide in me, God. Confide in me, Jehovah. Confide in me, your creator. Be confident in me, your creator. Be confident in me. Be sure of me. Be sure of what I say and what I tell you to do. God is saying that about him. How many times in our lives when we make decisions do we confide in somebody else before we go to God? I'm guilty of this. Like sometimes even when I want to make a decision, I'll pick up the phone. I'll be like, Mama, you know what? What do you think of this? Or like I'll ask a friend of mine that I feel is like inclined spiritually and also hears from God. And they'll be like, so I feel like God is saying this. And sometimes I might even go to my pastor and be like, I need advice. I need this. But they're not the first person I should actually be going to. I'm not supposed to just be trusting in them. God is saying, trust in me. Trust in God. Trust in me with all your heart. All there means all. That means everything. Trust in the Lord with everything of your heart. What is your heart? Your heart is the center of everything. That's where everything centers around. You know, when you go to a doctor, right, and they want to check if someone is still alive or if someone is dead, the thing that is going to indicate that somebody is alive or somebody is dead is their heart. If the heart is beating, whether you're breathing or not, they consider you to be alive. If the heart is not beating, whatever the case may be, they are going to consider you to be dead. So the heart for me, this is just my own personal way that I've viewed this verse. The heart for me is the life source. And if the heart is a life source, God is saying to us, trust in me with all your life. Trust in me with the center of everything in your life. Trust in me, God. And you know what? It's not bad for us to go and ask advice from our friends, our mothers, our fathers, our parents, our husbands, our wives, whoever it is that you think you can confide in. That's not a bad thing. But God is saying, trust in me. He doesn't say trust in this person first and then come to me. The thing is, we need to go to God first. We need to trust God. Even if we get advice from all these people, the person who has the final say is God, because that's the person we should be trusting. Why? Because people can let us down. We are human. We can let ourselves down. Even if you trust in yourself, you can let yourself down. But trust in God with everything, with your whole life. And lean not. What is to lean? To lean is to derive support from something. So God is saying, do not derive support from your own understanding. Your understanding is your knowledge, your wisdom, or your mind. God is saying, do not derive support from your knowledge, because your knowledge is limited. But me, I am God. Me, I am the Lord. And me, my knowledge is unlimited. So you can depend on me. You can lean on me. You can rest in me. You can rest on me, but don't depend on yourself, because your understanding is flawed. Your understanding is not accurate. Your understanding can be misinterpreted, misinformed, everything not so right. But God is always, always spot on. That's what the first part of this verse is saying. How many times have we gone and trusted other people or trusted ourselves and not trusted God? What were the results? I kid you not. For me, every time I have not trusted God, it has come back to bite me. Yes, big time. And I'm just like, when am I going to learn this lesson? And this is why I feel God is like, every like for the past couple of months, he's been like, you're going to trust in me, girl. Like, you are going to trust in me. So I'm like literally feeling like we have to be in a space and on a journey where we are just trusting God. Like, if you're in Zimbabwe, because this is where I am, things can be really tight for you. God is saying, trust in me. Wherever you are and things are not happening and working for you, God is saying, trust in me. If people are like telling you to do other things and God is saying, don't do it, trust in him. Yeah, God is saying, trust in me and lean not on your own understanding. The second part of the verse then says, in all your ways, acknowledge him, obviously, which is God, and he shall direct your paths. So what are the key words in verse 6? The key words are ways, acknowledge, direct, and paths. The word ways is actually referring to the road you're taking, the journey you're walking, the things that you're doing. Okay, so everything that you are doing, it says all of them. All of the roads you're taking, all of the journeys you're making, all of the decisions you're making, in all of those things, acknowledge him. What is to acknowledge? To acknowledge is to know someone, okay? Is to know God. Know what God desires. Know what God says about a situation. Know what God expects of you in this situation. Know what decision God expects you to make. God is saying, know me. Acknowledge what I tell you. Have knowledge of what I say about this situation. And when you know that, he's not just telling you to know it so that you just know. Like, you know what, God, I know that I'm not supposed to sleep with that guy. Yeah, I know it, but I'm still going to go ahead and do it. God is saying, and when you know that this is what you're supposed to do, do it. Okay? Now you have to actually do it. That is what God is saying. Acknowledge him. Right? And when you acknowledge him, acknowledging him means you know what he says and you're going to do what he says. He shall direct your paths. What is the word direct? What does direct mean? Direct actually means to make straight. God is saying, I will make straight your paths. What are your paths? Paths are the places that you walk, the roads that you journey on, the roads that you travel on. God is saying, I will make your paths straight. I will direct your paths. I will make your paths straight. Do you know that when you're on a journey, like on a road and you're traveling to go somewhere, when the road is constantly winding, it takes you longer to get to the destination. But if the road is straight, you're going to get there faster. And God is saying, you don't want to waste time just going on this unwinding, winding road. But me, if you acknowledge what I tell you to do, I shall make your path straight. I shall make the roads that you travel on straight. So you'll get to the destination faster. I'm telling you, this is just... How many times have we not trusted God and we have taken forever to get to our destination, like the children of Israel, going around the mountain and going around the mountain and going, oh, no, I'm tired of going around the mountain. I'm just like, God, I don't want to keep going around the mountain. Can we just get to the destination because I want to get to my promised land now? And God is like, well, you can get there, but trust me, acknowledge me. And I've been failing in this area, but not anymore, guys. We have to stop failing in this area and we need to really keep trusting God. Do you realize that the word there is paths? It's plural. It's not like a singular thing, like one path. And I believe that's because we have so many different paths in our lives. You're going to take a path where you have to choose the school you need to go to. You're going to take a path where you need to choose the church you need to go to. You're going to take a path that involves your marriage, your best friend, the friends you need to choose. That involves so many different paths in our lives. That even the job you're supposed to take, the job you're supposed to work, the job you're not supposed to work, the job you're supposed to leave, all of those things. Those are all paths that we are going to journey on in our lives. And God is saying, trust me with all of those paths and I'll direct you on the paths to take. I will make those journeys and those roads, those journeys straight for you. And why do we want to try and do things on our own, in our own strength, when God is there to do it for us and help us so that we get to those places with Him, and possibly easier than we would on our own? I do think that the children of Israel struggled with this thing because the journey took them 40 years when it was supposed to be days. But I believe the issue was because of their complaining, it was a sign of them not trusting God. How many times are we complaining or just not trusting God? And are we not getting to the place that God has told us we need to be at? Yeah. That's Bible study for today, guys. Like, that's food for thought for us. Like, are we trusting God